Okay, so last time we had seen how to create suppliers. Today we'll talk about how to get supplier invoices. And then we'll see. I think we did create suppliers. I'm not sure, but I just have to look at like notes last time what we did. 1 second. Where are my notes? We see it. We see it. We see. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, we did not create the supplier invoice at all. We just had set up suppliers, set up spend categories, purchase item. That's all. Okay, great. So let's talk about today. Um, Creating a supplier invoice. So for that, we'll see the supplier invoice BP first. So we go to BP, supplier invoice. We'll look at the default definition. So if you look at here, we have initiation step. Then the first step goes, second step goes to AP data entry specialist. Then if it has any trackable lines, then we go to business asset accountant. Then the next step would be initiating asset registration event automatically from invoice. And the third last step would be assign counting information from invoice. So this is the BP. Let's see the security policy of it. So we have create supplier invoice adjustment. And then we have create supplier invoice also. These people can do. Then web services like EIB, submit supplier invoice, create invoice from purchase order, create supplier invoice from purchase order, create supplier invoice from receipt also. So you can see that along with this standalone task of creating supplier invoice, you can also create supplier invoice from purchase orders also, that from receipt also. Then you can review supplier invoice, review trackable invoice lines, create receipt for purchase order of supplier invoice. Then who can view all, view completed only, approve, ad hoc approve, correct, all those things. So pretty straightforward. Now we'll just say create supplier invoice.
Business process is done by the implementation team or the people who are working on the creating the invoices?
Implementation, like BP is done by the implementation team initially. After that, like if you want to modify anything, then it's like the customer side. But the first time it's done by the implementation team only.
So the way I'm looking for it, I will not have to do this, right? If I'm just doing some entries.
No, you don't have to do this visual adjustment. It will be already configured. It will be already there.
Okay, got you.
And this is what we are doing. This is what you would be doing.
Okay,
as an end user.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just now only mostly interested in the end user.
Yeah, that's fine. So company is BGT. Link it. What was our supplier? Okay. Now we are getting a small alert that the ledger period is not open for this one. Maybe it's showing that the ledger period this transaction. If you don't select a valid ledger period, the transaction post to first ledger period goes into error status if none are available. So before that, let's quickly check if we have opened the January period or not for Blinkit. So we'll just say Blinkit mass update, ledger period status. So that should be 2023 standard fiscal year. We have to check our company standard year. This is like very confusing. So let's go to our BGC. So let's see this schedule. What's the name of? Okay. They never created the fiscal year for 2023. Strange. Let's create it. Create next fiscal year. Oh, it's, but if it is there,
It's
then
picked up
we,
24.
but where is 2023? Are you able to see it somewhere? 2023.
Hannah, it's
Yeah,
their
this is
fiscal
the,
year. Yeah,
they
yeah.
just named it like this. See how
Yeah.
foolish people are there in this world.
We are like
Why
that
to name it
only.
like
No,
this?
no,
Yeah.
no. We are not Rahul, right? I wish I was Rahul.
Hey, no, no.
Know everything in life.
You will all get this soon. Once you start
I,
practice and everything, it will be there for you
I,
also.
I really tell you, I'm not able to get it because I don't know. My mindset is not there, I think.
And that's okay. That's once you start putting focus and putting more and more transaction data, because I am into implementation consulting, right? So I have 4 projects to handle. So I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
get
yeah,
a
I
lot of
get you.
queries. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why initially when I started career, like even same thing was with me also. I was not aware about the task and everything. But slowly and gradually, all things came now. But there's still a lot of things to learn in Workday only, in BGC. Now, the good part is that's fine, that's open for us. Okay, so stop. Okay, now it's saying I have to do one more thing now. So here we have found out, but if it is saying that it's not open, that's very still mask created. Uh, yeah, this one. Now it's better. Hmm. Ah, maybe TLS Serrano have the access. Let's log in as TLS Serrano. What is going on? What is this going on? It's a content. This is what's wrong with the richer profile. Why we can't do proxy as her? What does it give me? Arey, Logan McNeil, chief.
Why is the Terrano not coming?
This is because the proxy policy, like somebody has just terribly fixed the uh, proxy policy here, but we do not have time to fix it here. Otherwise, we would have done that because we are more focused on our transactions and tasks rather than fixing this people who are doing practice here. Because remember, like a lot of people are doing practice, so HCM integration and so that's why. Because this time it should work. Now let me see a couple things. Fiscal year scheduling. This is what our company is also using. Okay, this was the one. Yeah, this is the one that we are using. Then what's wrong here? Why you will not show me my company here? Why only Vogue? Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll use work only, but let's see. All periods. Don't waste time here. See this stuff. Waste time further. Okay, then so this one, let's say work. Oh my God, people have created so many works here. This is also company. This is amazing. Okay, let's go ahead with our thing only. Okay, so we'll say our favorite BGC only. BGC, and supplier, do you remember supplier name? It was what? Let's say BGC, like that. Let's say BGC. Hmm. Fox Industries. Blanket. Great. Then this was the payment term that we said, like if due date is 25 days, but if we pay within like 20 days, we'll get 2% discount here. This is the address. This is the invoice date. Let's forget about this one for now. Invoice receipt date. So the supplier would have sent you the invoice, the PDF copy. So you have to mention that invoice date here. So we'll say that it was on 15th only. And the control total amount, let's say 1,500. Okay, if any freight and other charges were included, then you can put that here. Otherwise, skip it. Then override payment type. The payment default payment type, how will pay the supplier is checked. But if you want to pay by cash or something, then you can mention it here also. Cash, check, direct debit, all those things. Default tax code that we had used was 4%. We can get rid of this. Then if it's on hold, the supplier invoice is on hold for XYZ reason, then you can put it on hold here, make invoice ineligible for payment, right? So it won't come in the settlement run. Then supplier document receipt, yes. If you're putting the date here, it means you have received the PDF copy here. So supplier PDF copy would have their number on it, right? So you just mentioned that number here. Then external PO number, if any PO number was mentioned here, then on their supplier invoice, you can mention the same PO number here. If any other reference invoice is there, like already invoices created for the supplier company, you can mention that reference invoice number here. Statutory invoice types, so along with your supplier invoice types, you need to put some other invoice type for certain countries, like in Europe. I don't know the exact name, but they need sometimes a different, invoice numbers also, invoice type actually. So for that also you can put the details here. Supplier contract, so we have not touched that right now. We'll see it quickly. Then approver, who would be approving this, like overall who approved this transaction functionally. So you can mention that. Otherwise, leave it. And then we have defaulted this item, blanket security guard payment spend category on the supplier. If you just bring your cursor here and you will see supply invoice lines are cancelled, charge, changed or deleted related and business assets impact accounting. If the supply invoice line is first removed from the asset cost, then accounting is accurate. So blah blah about accounting with that we'll see later on. So just go towards the right hand side, shift to address. Those things looks fine. And one query costs 50 here, but control amount is 1500 here. Either you can change the quantity here, like if you say 30 here, okay, it will become 1500, or directly you can convert the amount here. And the cost center. So we can say Blanket facilities region, we can say EMEA. Anything. Okay, any additional work type if you want to add. If nothing is there, you can hit submit here. Your request is being processed. Why you're taking so much time? Let's wait for a few seconds here. Let's wait. Notify me later. Come on. Why it's so slow today? Find supplier invoices. Figure out an invoice. So we'll just say find supplier invoices. And find supplier invoices. We'll go to BGC. And the invoice never got created. I was suspecting this only. Let's do it again. Supplier was also Fox Industries. And blah, 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 blah. Invoice received date. Let's put 15th only. Convert to amount. We said 1500 here. Then we said supplier document received, invoice number, blah, blah, blah here. We got rid of text code here. And we saw the details here. Then we made it 30 here. And I believe the control amount is also 1500. Yes, fine here. And then we can change 30 here. And that will change the cost center blanket. A region will say EMEA. Let's say this is for EMEA. And we'll submit. Let's see what's going on with that. Changes have been saved, but where is my invoice? This time I want my invoice. Send payments, invoices, not a single invoice. Are you serious?
Is it because we have not approved it?
No. System is doing something like it's like little slow. Monday maybe. Oh my goodness. Why? Okay. Anyways, smart people do not waste times. So we'll not waste time here. We'll see something else in the meantime. It's doing that. So in the meantime, we'll see the purchase order BP.
But
Okay.
will we come back to all this or no? Because how will we remember?
Obviously, there is no point. Supply invoice the core thing. We need to have it. Let's. In the meantime, what we'll do? Let we give like 5 to 6 minutes to a system. Let it refresh or something what it wants to do. In the meantime, we'll just see the purchase order and requisition BP. Okay, at least we'll be familiarized with the purchase order BP and requisition BP and the contract BP also, and then we can do that transition also. Why to waste time here? So we'll say BP. We will come back to this for sure. We cannot leave it like this. Purchase order. So purchase order is something like you want something in bulk, and then you send it to the like supplier for, you know, saying that this is your the items and goods we need, and you have to deliver these items within so many days and all those things. Clear with the purchase order, both of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So we'll just see the BP security policy here. Why to waste time? We will not waste our time. It's very important. Because anyhow, we have to do this, right? We have to go through this purchase order BP. So why to go? So purchase order, submit purchase order, create purchase order from so you can see create purchase from supplier contract also. That's good. Peer contract compliance, these people can do. Supplier order collaboration, review purchase order, create receipt for purchase order, approve, correct, and deny all users. That's fine. Then you have a receipt. Let's see the receipt BP. Because at least we'll save this time. We'll see the receipt. So in receipt, we have 8 steps, which is great. So if time on delivery is received, go to finance manager, not finance manager, finance manager. Go to received, over received. It will go to purchase order buyer. And then based on these steps, it will go to business asset account and all those people. Okay. So now after receipt, we'll just see one more, which is requisition. And requisition is, do you know requisitions?
No.
Okay, so simply like if you see in your companies, whenever you need some like notepads, stationery, or even laptops, right? There is a person who normally get it to you that okay,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
yeah. Oh, yeah,
stationery,
yeah.
right? So if you need some kind of laptops and all those things, there is a buyer who goes and buy the things for you on behalf of the company. So basically, requisition event starts and how it ends is like by the supplier. So first you create a requisition. Then the buyer will send this, will review the details requested by you. Then somebody from the procurement, the higher side will approve it. Then we'll create a purchase order. We'll send the purchase order to the supplier. The supplier will send the item to us. We'll create a receipt. Then after getting a receipt, the supplier will send the invoice. Then we'll create our invoice in the system also. And after getting invoice, we'll pay the supplier. And that's how the procurement cycle ends. Okay. So requisition just one BP here. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we'll look at the supplier contract also, because that's also we have to cover. Supplier contract event. So initiation, there's one step here, which is good. If you look at the policy here, here we go. Create supplier contract, submit supplier contract. Review supplier contract, you completed, and approve all those things. In the meantime, now let's go back and see if anything is happening for our company. We got our invoice or not. Find supplier invoices. So BGC invoice date on after, let's put it like even 14th also. It's not there. So we'll see one thing. Something may be wrong from the implementer side. We'll do one thing, default definition, policy. Who can do this? So immediate entry specialist, let's assign it to Logan McNeil. So we go to BGC. And we'll assign the AP data entry specialist to roles, roles. Logan McNeil. Now let's see, start proxy. Create supply invoice. BGC. Supplier is Fox Industries. Let's quickly get rid of few things here. Fingers crossed. And what's the same date? 15th also. That should be 50 only. We are fine with that. You need a call center. We'll put a call center here. Yeah, see, some issue was here with that account. Great. So finally, we have our accounting, sorry, invoice here. And it's unpaid right now because we just created it into invoice and there was only one step. So it got approved also, which is good. You look at the process history. This is what it is. And if you look at the accounting here, okay, so it has it to expense account and accounts payable here. Clear with this one, this part right now?
Yes,
Great. So what we'll do, we'll quickly create at least 5-6 invoices because that will need for adjustments also. So I'll just copy this invoice, supply invoice, copy. Okay, I'll just change the number here, otherwise it won't let us submit this one. What else we should do? This time, let's put text code also. Text code, text country. India also, that's fine. India got 4% that we can do. And the due date override, let's say tomorrow's the due date for this one. Okay. And this will need a cost center. So it is already there. Link it. I think there's some latency at the back end of Workday, but we'll come over this. The changes have been saved, but they never. Nah, they did not create this.
Invoice, no? First, how is $50 now?
Yeah, first invoice is there, but I think there's some issue at their servers or something, because see, we are trying and it's not. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not working. Not sure what the issue is. And
So that 1,500 invoices there or not there?
no, 15 is not there. It is 50, which we just created before this. There's only one invoice for this, because there's some latency at the back end, which we don't know why at the Workday servers. Let's submit. So this also got submitted. So we've got two invoices now. So there's some network issue only. So let's create one more. At least we'll see one adjustment of debit and one is credit. At least 2-3 invoices are required. Let's see.
You're keeping amount as 50 only.
Yeah, we can change it. We can change it. Never mind. We can always change it. So we can make it like 2,500 also. 25,000 also. Okay. Let's create one more. And we can go from here only. Supplier invoice. Copy. After this, we'll have our 6 classes left and a few topics to cover, which we'll do for sure. 4,000. Let it submit. We got one error about the invoice number, I believe. Yeah, let's change it. 7. Okay, now we've got a few invoices here. Let's go back to our invoices. Invoices and payment. Invoices. So we got like 4 invoices, which is good. Now, with this 25,000, we'll create an invoice adjustment here, just like at the customer side we did. That something happened, we may be paying less, we may be paying high to the supplier. So we'll say, go to this supplier invoice and create adjustment. Adjustment reason, let's say damaged goods, supplier delivered damaged goods to us. Now, increased liability is at our end, that because we are liable to pay more, right? We are liable to pay to the supplier. So if you're increasing liability, it means we want to pay more to the supplier, but it's a damaged good, right? So it means we'll be paying less to the supplier. So we'll say decrease liability. We'll select it. And we'll hit save and continue. And okay, so this is, we get rid of this text. Payment terms here is fine, them is good. So let's say how much we are paying less. So we'll say 1,000. So we'll say 24,000 now. Submit. So we have done that. Now, if you see this adjustment here, okay, so it's their reference invoices here, which we just the original invoice. This is the adjustment invoice number, and it's like supply invoice number is 50, adjustment number is 50 here, invoice number is 50. Now, if you look at the original invoice here, so this is what invoice number was 30 here, total invoice is 25,000 here, but we do have an adjustment here, which later on will change the amount here. So if you look at the overall amount of supplier, go to supplier, and this is the balance due. Okay, so what happened is we said 24,000 here means we are paying only 1,000 to that supply amount. The invoice amount was 25,000. We said we are decreasing the liability by 24,000. So there's only 1,000 amount left there. So that's why 1,000, and along with this, if you see here, invoices and payments. And there is a way also to check some reports also. So if you go to, I'll show you where you can do that under related reports. So if you're in related reports, you go there and you say payable, aging, or open items here. Open items will show all the open invoices that you have to pay. So click on open items here. And you click on BGC here. Okay, and hit okay. So it's 50 and the 24,000 was this one. So if you add up this amount, 50, 50, 100 here, 100 and 4,100 here, 4,100 plus 24,000 was deducted, then 1,000. So it becomes 5,100 here automatically. You can see the calculation here also. Clear on this report?
Yeah.
It's a simple calculation showing up here, how it became 5,100. Now let's use some other invoice. Let's say this one. Now we'll create adjustment again. This time we'll increase that will pay like 50 rupees extra or $50 extra to the suppliers. Right now, remember the balance is 5,100, 5,100 here. We'll just say price adjustment, like we are paying something extra here, increase liability. We'll select this, save and continue. And here also we'll do same thing. So we'll just say, so it was 100, we'll make it 200 here. Okay, so from 50, we are going 150 extra for this one. Now, if you look at the supplier, this is adjustment is fine. Okay. But if you want to go back to the supplier and now see the total balances, because we changed it to 200, see, the balance has also got changed to 5,300. Clear on this functionality also? It automatically updates the balance of the supplier to the customer as per the transaction you're doing. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay, and if you look at the accounting of your adjustment here, okay, so let's see the accounting of this 201. That was the adjustment. What if you increase the price? Okay, there is an error here. Let's see, not sure what is the error here, but I can definitely see two ledger accounts here, two lines only, and two ledger accounts. So not sure what's wrong here. Okay, but if you see, got debit to expense account and credit to accounts payable. So that is fine.
But it was 150 and we added 150 more, right? So that's why it became 200. That's what you're saying?
No, that the balance was 50 only. We said, no, we are not paying 50 to the supply, we are paying 200. So that's why.
Okay. And if you see the adjustment invoice, it will show us the reverse, right?
Yes, correct. That is true. Now let me think of some other examples here for you. Yes, let's see some text examples also. What if we add the text? It's a straightforward. Like they will just calculate the text on the overall amount. So I'll just copy this invoice. And I'll just say some numbers here. And calculate default text option. Either you can calculate text duty supplier, calculate self-assessed text, enter text duty supplier. If you say this, and you say default text code by company country, plant of 4% here. Okay, text amount, because we are saying enter text duty supplier yourself only. So if you say 500 here, and let's see what happens. And I'll change the amount to 5,000 here. Let's say it's submit. Let's see what happens. It will throw an error that enter one more line text ability on the invoice line also. So line level we also need to add, because this we kept blank here. So we'll say input VAT. And this details will be already there in the supply, which is you just need to key in these details. Okay. So for this one, let's submit. Let's see if it allows us now. It says no. Enter one or more line. So text ability on invoice with text amount. This text ability must be taxable, non-recoverable, and allocate non-recoverable text. So we'll get rid of this. We'll get the same calculate self-assessed text. Now let's see. The moment you do that, it will remove the error. And if you come here, again go by the company country here. See, the system doesn't calculate what you put on the header. The system calculates what you put at the line level. So now it will calculate 4% of 5,000.
Yep. Okay, Rahul. Thank you so much.